everyone, it's Jasmine. So I'm back. This video is going to contain me cutting in quite often actually when I'm editing right now, because I just wanted to quickly tell you how you should be watching this video. I know this video is so freaking long, but I really wanted to spend some time talking about each subject that I took. So basically, I'm going to be leaving timestamps in the description box below, so you can be clicking onto the subjects that you would find useful. For example, if you don't take art, please just don't watch art because it's such a waste of time. I haven't felt the stress in so long, and it's kicking in. I think you're new to this channel because I don't usually film this type of content. If you're new here, welcome. For anyone who's in my year and it's in my school, please just keep in mind that you are going to inevitably compare your own scores to mine, especially if we both took the same subject. So if you are going to see my results, it's really not good for you because you should be proud of your own scores. So here's the disclaimer: if you don't want to listen to me, go ahead and watch it. Anyway, I think that this video is going to be really, really, really important, especially for people who are in year 9 to year 11 who are going to take their GCSE soon. I just wanted to talk about the overall GCSE experience, and I just wanted to say one word: it's crazy. Experience was kind of atrocious, wasn't the greatest, but whatever, it's fine. I can't believe there were so many exams. Actually, I had less exams than everyone else, so I can't be complaining. It's nothing to be stressed about if you're like confident in that field, but when it comes to subjects that you're not, it will kill you. I'm joking. I'm not here to scare you. I'm just really, really bad at one specific subject, which is history. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing wrong anymore, because every time I think I'm doing something right, I get the same exact score as what I'm doing wrong. So over the course of 2 to 3 years, it was not very stressful in the beginning, but obviously the closer you got to GCSE time, the more stressful it was. In the beginning, in year 9, whatever, it's chill. Like, you just practice and learn new things. That's all you have to focus on. And in year 10, the content got harder. You learn more things. There are more things to remember. Yeah. And year 11, you learn less things in year 10 because obviously you're done. But I don't know. I feel like it was less stressful in year 11, apart from obviously the GCSE itself. I just wanted to talk about the in-GCSE experience. For Cambridge students right now, I understand that you're taking the new syllabus for 2020 next year, so the year after I'm filming this video. But for the 2 subjects I'm taking for Cambridge, they claim that there's no difference in skills and techniques wise, but the scores may change, which I don't know about because I don't take it. But you have to be aware that this may be slightly different to what you need, but obviously technique wise and skill wise, not really. Basically, we had to do a monologue, a scripted performance, and a devised performance within a couple of months, and whoa, it was hectic. My experience with drama was, I don't know, my experience with drama was a love-hate relationship, because in the beginning, I was predicted B's. My acting is kind of bad, I'm not gonna lie. I was predicted B for acting and an A for writing, because my writing is so much better than my acting. I think I got level 5 and 4 most of the time for as an average for all the performances. So I think that's an A, never mind, but I was a B in the beginning. And then writing. Whew, writing is like English, crazy. You do so many analysis stuff, and you just need to know your key terms, key words to use all the time, and just analyze. I'm going to talk about the actual exam now. The actual exam, the written exam. So the written exam is 2.5 hours long. That was the longest GCSE written paper that I got. And what that meant was, it was really tiring. There's like a bunch of short questions, some medium questions, and a 25 marker, which basically means everything. And let me say that the paper didn't go as well as I wanted it to go, because it was so much easier when I did previous practice papers made by my teachers. And I apologize for any drama students who take Cambridge, because there's no practice papers, because content changes every single year. So the drama paper, everyone gets an extract, which you've already read before because you get it like a few months before the exam. There were so many questions about minor characters that I did not care about. I mean, they're not that minor, but they're not that major either. So I was kind of mad about that. I could have done so much better if I just cared about the exam. But it was the first paper and I just didn't care enough. I was like, okay. I mean, I don't think I did that bad, so I'm not that worried. Yeah. I didn't really talk much about drama acting wise, so I'm going to talk about it now. For my monologue, I personally got this text from Invisible Friends, where I have an invisible friend called Zara, and I'm just talking to myself the entire time, pretending there's someone there. Because that was one of the first GCSEs in drama, I was so stressed out. I think that I did better in my rehearsals than the actual thing, because it was the first time that I saw the camera, and it made me really paranoid. I was just there like, a month later, the teachers decided to actually see the recordings, and they realized none of them actually got recorded properly and you can only hear the sound. So I had to redo it. The entire class did. I just did my monologue again, even though I pretty much forgot about it because it was like a month before and we were already on our group performances at that time. I thought the second monologue actually went better, but the teachers obviously disagreed and gave me the same score. So whatever, at least it didn't decrease, right? The scripted performance was fine. The only part that I was a bit like annoyed about, but only a bit, was that my lines kept changing and I didn't like that. For the devised performance, we only had 2 freaking weeks to plan for the entire thing. That was actually kind of stressful, but our group managed to pull it off by staying after school as much as possible and attending all the weekend rehearsals. I'm so glad we did pull it off because our plot was actually really, really interesting. The theme that we got from our teachers was refuge. And in the beginning, I thought this topic was kind of but at the end, I think it was okay. I took Chinese as a second language because I'm just not good at Chinese, and they didn't let me take foreign, and first language was way too hard for me. For Chinese, we had 2 components, so we had listening first, and then we had the reading and writing. I'm sorry, 2020 people, you have to do listening. So glad I don't need to do that. Before the speaking test, I've practiced so many different idioms, so Chengyu, and I've memorized all the Chengyu in my head, and I know which one to use if a specific topic comes up. And it's really important to practice your speaking to obviously a native person who can speak Mandarin, Putonghua, if you want to call it like that. Okay, let's talk about the writing. It was horrendous. Writing and reading, it gave me a heart attack that day. I went to the exam expecting it to not be that hard. I was in the exam and I was freaking out. Literally, I'm reenacting how scared I was. Okay, so what happened was I opened the paper, right? So I looked to the left. It was the comprehension. Okay, so I read it through. Then the next page was the questions, right? The first question had error, and I was in a panic mode because I was like, wait, am I going crazy? Why is the question the exact same? And I repeated twice. I was so scared. I was like, this is not okay. Why am I not reading the question properly? Why is this going like this? Why? What is happening? And then I told the invigilator, she can't read Chinese, but she figured out that it was the same because I guess people can just like see it as pictures and see it they're the exact same. So they wrote a complaint. But obviously it didn't settle me down. So I decided to read the simplified Chinese questions because they didn't have a problem, but the traditional ones did because I do traditional Chinese. Oh my god, it was so scary even thinking about it. Then the comprehensions went fine, and then I read the writing. Are you kidding me? They chose the two worst topics I could ever think of. They asked about summer jobs, which I have no experience about and I have no idioms for it, obviously, because why would I prepare idioms for summer jobs? So I had to write I forgot what I had to write. I had to write something related to summer jobs, and then the longer essay, it was about vegetarian. I don't even know if it's vegan or vegetarian or something like that. Like, I just talked about vegetables, okay? And it was so hard because I don't know what's the advantages of eating vegetables in Chinese. I literally think I'm gonna fail that subject. Okay, it's done, Sheena.
Okay.
How do you log out? Oh my god, there's so many problems. You know what? I'm just gonna open it on my laptop. Okay,
Okay.
so the CIE results. Okay, I'm gonna cover it because I'm scared. I see Cambridge Assessment, International Education. I see Chinese and drama. Should I open it?
Yeah.
I covered it, but like I don't know. I'm so scared.
Do it. Open one. Look at drama first.
One. Okay. I'm gonna slide down. I don't know what I'm gonna make slide. I got an A.
An A?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and I also got an A for Chinese. That's good enough.
What's the score?
What's the score?
Drama and Chinese.
I got 83 for drama, and I got 88
That's good.
I got 88 for Chinese.
No, I genuinely, that was like the hardest test I ever
I
took.
thought I was gonna get C as well. Don't worry. Thinking about it, how did I get 88%? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Dude, it says
What?
combination of components. 0, 1 and 0, 2. 0, 1 is reading and writing. 0, 2 is speaking. A star 88. Wait, what does that mean? Does that mean I got an A star or is it A 88 and above? Because that's cheating.
Wait, maybe.
Or did I get it wrong?
I don't know.
So art, obviously, like, you just do art and your coursework counts as your GCSE and you have to do a 10-hour piece. I was so prepared, actually, for my 10-hour piece that I practiced doing it once at home. Because you can do whatever you want, right? So I practiced exactly what I wanted to do that day on an A2 paper, which is what I used in the actual exam, and just did it, and it looks better in my exam than how I did at home, so I'm so happy about that. I'll show a picture of it right here, and that's how my GCSE looks like. My teacher at school already told me my scores, but it may vary, obviously, because of the invigilators and stuff, and yeah, I did really good, but I don't know if I can get the grade that I want, because I'm on the borderline.
and I really hope that I get the grade that I want.
I completely forgot to talk about component 1, which was the sketchbook work, meaning that it's coursework, and it's basically just the work that you've done throughout the entire 2 years, so from year 10 to year 11, and it basically shows the exam board your progress throughout art, so improvements, and basically you do evaluation, conclusion, and analysis all the time throughout the entire book. And that's pretty much it. It's basically just what you do in class and for homework, and you just shove everything in a book. That is your coursework. So they have a couple of assessment objectives for both your final piece sketchbook and the sketchbook for your coursework, which is number 1, experiment. Just experiment with different medium. So for example, acrylic, oil, markers, watercolor, and there's also another assessment objective where you have to explore. So for example, you search for different artists for inspiration, and the third objective is to link back your own work to the artist that you've explored. For example, you do a piece of work and you have to like replicate that work from the artist but in your own perspective. I don't know if you understand that. So for example, Van Gogh, and you have to do your work in Van Gogh style. So what's the difference between the sketchbook in coursework and in final piece? So the final piece is the sketchbook where you explore and research just all the artists that you want to do, and it basically shapes your final piece. So your final piece contains everything you've explored. So for example, like subtopics that interest you with a given topic.
Maths. So maths was the exam where I had to take the first paper right after Chinese. You already know how Chinese went. That stressed me out so much. Maths was straight after Chinese. Okay, it wasn't straight after, but we were like trapped in the room in between without internet right after Chinese. Oh my god, like maths. Jesus. I was on panic mode as well. Not because I'm bad at maths, you know, it's because after Chinese I felt so bad because like, oh my god, I failed. Oh my god, I did so many things wrong. Oh my god, the questions were wrong. Holy crap, I don't know how to write anything in Chinese. That was exactly what was going on in my brain, even though it was 2 hours after the Chinese exam. So I went into maths like this. Oh my god. Oh. Like, I'm not worried about maths. I was worried about my Chinese. So I guess I didn't perform as well as I wanted to because maths is one of my probably best subjects. So I don't know what to expect for the first paper. So the first paper went okay. Everything was easy. Not everything. Most of the things were easy. Not really, actually. It was kind of difficult. The first paper was kind of difficult. I did not expect the first question to be that hard. Obviously, it wasn't hard for me, but then it was hard. Like, it wasn't the question I was expecting the first question to be, and it requires you to understand the conversion between centimeters cubed to liters, milliliters. And I didn't know that you have to know that, but I just knew. So I was so glad that I knew, or else I would have failed, because that was 4 marks. And then, okay, the paper was fine. I went through everything, and then I went to these 2 pages, face to face. The first one was circle theorems, and the second one was vectors. And I was like, okay, these 2 are not my weak ones. I should be fine because I'm usually really good at vectors and I'm really good at circle theorem, okay? So why I'm saying I used to be is because circle theorems did me bad. Like, I don't know what was happening on the spot, but I could not see anything. Like, I could see blank in that circle theorem question, and it was just there, a circle with lines inside, some angles. Literally, they only give 2 angles I had to solve for x or something, and I just couldn't do it, and I don't know why. And obviously now I know how to do it, but at that time I was just looking at the paper like, why can't I do this? What? And I was just panicking even more, in addition to Chinese stress. And I was like, oh my god. And I just had 30 minutes left to complete those 2 questions. And I was like, okay. This is not that bad. Okay, those 2 are my good ones. I'll be fine. Okay, I can't do the circle theorem, right? I'll do the next question. The next question, the vector question. Whoever wrote that question, go away. I don't want to see you. Like, okay, fun fact, I took further maths before, and I kind of got kicked out of that class because I was too dumb. I'm joking, I'm not too dumb in further maths. They said that my normal maths needs to improve at that time, so they wanted me to focus on it. And obviously I improved so much without thinking of further maths. And they came up with a further math styled question, and I looked at it like, okay, I can do it. And then I got stuck, and I was like, oh my god, why? There are 2 on the same page as well, so it even stressed me out. Because those were the only 2 questions that I haven't completed on the test, and I checked everything else. I hope I can even get 2 marks on it. And for the circle theorem, I have no hope for any marks, so I already lost 9 marks, basically 4 plus 5, so who wrote the vector question? Anyway, that's done. And paper 2, okay, paper 2. Paper 2 was literally a month after the first paper. I'm not bad at maths, once again I'm going to say that, so I thought I did so well in that paper. I finished the paper within 30 minutes, and I was so glad. I was like, oh my god, whoever wrote this, thank you. I'm obviously going to aim for a 9 for that paper because I think I did really well in that paper, and if I don't, I'm gonna sue someone. I'm joking, but I did really well in that paper. So that paper, I kind of think I got 100, but if I don't, for some reason, I'll be okay. Just give me a 9, please. I don't think I did anything wrong. So that's that. Now I'm gonna be talking about biology. So biology is one of my favorite subjects. But whoever wrote the biology papers, I hate you. Why are they so hard? And why is it all about plants? Plants. I hate plants. Give me some human. Hello. So the paper went bad. Both of them. Actually, the first one wasn't that bad. The second one was so much worse. So the first one included weird math questions I had to solve, and an investigation about wasps. Okay, well, whatever, those aren't that bad. But the second paper killed me. Whoever decided to make those questions, why? Do you want to kill your... So biology paper 2, it was, yeah, that's exactly what happened. My mind blanked completely. What does that mean? It means that nothing was working. It was the exam after English language 2, so my mind is already done. And guess what I did? I did not bother to revise at all for biology 2. Smart move, Jasmine. So I revised so much for biology paper 1, but not biology paper 2, so I was like, whatever, I'll be fine. It's not that I forgot anything, it's just that I didn't revise some specific ones that I should be revising for. If any of the teachers see this, I am so sorry. But yeah, biology paper 2 sucked. Like, the reading comprehension. semester want from me. There were questions that I could not even understand what it was asking for. In my opinion, it was not grammatically correct. But obviously people said it was, but some people said it wasn't. But I just didn't understand the question. So I just wrote something, because why would I leave a paper blank? I had like 10 minutes to check the entire paper, so that was that. It was so stressful. I was like, help, help. And yeah, all the topics I hated came out. There was 3 definition questions. I hate them. So thanks, whoever wrote that paper. I really don't like you right now. So that's how biology went. Now I'm going to be talking about chemistry. Oh my god, chemistry. Thank you, whoever wrote that paper. I like chemistry, but I also have a love-hate relationship with chemistry because it gets hard, man, like sometimes. But the papers were fine. Like both of them, I was happy. Like as a person who didn't revise as much as I should have, because I was so scared and stressed out the entire time and I didn't want to burn out. So I didn't revise as much as I wanted to. I did revise a substantial amount and I did a lot of past papers overall because I crammed it so much. I did some stupid stuff in the exam, but whatever. Like, they are fine. I'm hoping to get a decent grade for chemistry, but I would not know because I think I revised the least for chemistry out of all 3 sciences. So physics, I'm going to be talking about physics. Why was physics so hard? Okay, physics is not my favorite subject and I 100% hate it. I'm joking, I don't hate it. I dislike it, but I don't dislike it as much as history, as I mentioned in the beginning. So, physics just didn't go that well. All the topics that I hated so freaking much all came up, and the ones that I actually liked didn't even bother coming up. Like, hello, where are you? Okay, the papers didn't go that well. Like, I thought it was really hard. I actually thought it was really hard, and I was like stressing so much. I had 10 minutes left for the first paper to check through the entire 120 mark paper, and I had like 5 minutes to check paper 2, and I usually finish papers, all science papers, at least 30 minutes to an hour before the exam finishes. So it was so stressful for me to not be able to check anything, practically. Oh my god, I don't even know how I did for physics. I don't even know I can even scrape an 8, Now I'm going to be talking about English, literature, and language together because they both classify as English in my dictionary. Thank you, whoever wrote the English paper. I am so blessed, whoever wrote the English paper, apart from a few things. Obviously, like there's no perfect papers. Okay, literature went so much better than I thought I was gonna do. Holy crap. So, English, you may say English. I like English. I only started liking English in year 11. My overall experience with English since year 6 was horrifying. I think the highest I've ever gotten in English in year 6 to 9 was 60 something percent, and the worst I've done was in year 9 where I got 20%, 40%. So that's how my English went. So that's probably why you asked why my grammar is so crap on my channel. English, no matter what scores I'm gonna get, I'm gonna be so proud of myself because it's gonna be higher than 20%, if you understand what I mean. I've improved so much and I'm so happy. But I'm a bit sad that I'm obviously not taking English next year. When I did the first mock exam, not really mock, but like an assessment with like past paper kind of thing, I got 50 something percent for one of them, and that's how it went. So that converts to a 5 or 4. A 4. Ooh. That's how I started my GCSEs. I started with a 4. Exactly. what happened was I really wanted to do well in English because I think English is really important, and it was so important that I actually improved so much in English, and I'm so happy. Like, I'm saying this so many times, but I'm so happy. In literature paper 1, it was a bit hectic, kind of. It includes unseen poetry, comparing poems, and modern prose. So the modern prose that the school chose for us was Of Mice and Men, which whoever takes Of Mice and Men, high five to you, because it's a good book to do for GCSEs, because the quotes are easy to remember, the characters are literally so two-dimensional. Like, it's so not three-dimensional that it's so easy to write. I have a bank of quotes that I kept on using in the exam. So I just wanted to talk about Of Mice and Men really quickly. So there's 2 questions for any of the modern proses, and one is theme and one is character. Character is so hard to not predict because if you do a plan for all of the characters before the exam, I did all the essays for each character and a few themes. Obviously, the theme question that I wanted didn't come up, so I did the character, which I was expecting myself to do. And the character that we got was Lenny, and the essay that I wrote about Lenny, I actually showed my teacher in school who does English, and he actually marked that for me, and I basically just wrote the exact same one in the exam, and I am so happy, we can't tell. You have to memorize all the quotes that you want to use in Of Mice and Men, as well as all modern proses. And for the poems, I was like, oh, we get the text anyway, I can analyze on the spot. I'm so glad that whoever studied with me in the working space went before the exam. I crammed it so much, so I remembered a lot of analysis of the poems, and I was really happy that I got 2 of the poems that I've actually written, like, that I've compared with other things, but like similar elements before the exam, because I wrote 2 practice questions on my laptop before the exam, and that was exactly how I revised for it. And that question was actually really bad. I forgot what the question was. I tried to search it if I ranted about it with my friends before, but I don't find it. But I can't find it. And unseen poetry, okay, I think I did very valid points, but my points were so different to other people's that I asked, which I don't know what to say, but I think my points weren't too bad, so. But I can tell you how stressful it was. I had 20 minutes to write that essay because I decided to spend more time on the comparative poem, which was dumb. But I managed to finish. For English Literature 2, I did Macbeth and A View from the Bridge, which both of them, once again, is character and theme questions only. I planned for it. But the only thing that I'm really mad about so far is the fact that I didn't plan for any of the ones that came out in the exam. Because supernatural, that theme, came up for Macbeth, and that's the best one. So I was so glad it came out. But guess what? Because the previous year, evil came up, so I was like, oh, supernatural's not gonna come up. I was wrong, clearly. So, but I still had the book open. I could search for quotes, which I highly do not recommend in the exam because you want to gain the most time. And for A View from the Bridge, I did all the character questions, all the comparisons between characters, like, for example, Rodolfo and Eddie comparison, Rodolfo and Catherine comparison. But the one that I didn't do was Beatrice and Eddie, and that was the one that came up. So I don't like doing theme questions unless it was supernatural and Macbeth, so that was great. For English Language 1, we got the text Chinese Cinderella. Guess what? I predicted that. I was so prepared. I annotated the entire anthology before I went to the exam, which I did for both languages, for both of the text ones from the anthology. Oh my god, I was so happy because obviously Chinese Cinderella was the last text in the anthology, so it was the last one I annotated, so it was the one that I remember the most about. Oh my god, but yeah, I think I did pretty well in that question for all the 5 questions that involved Chinese Cinderella, and I'm not good at imaginative writing or transactional writing. So for both language 1 and 2, for both of the writings, I think I did okay, but not the best. And I know that I spelled couldn't wrong in the exam, which is the dumbest thing I could ever make. Especially when grammar and spelling counts in that specific writing essay thing. So I'm mad about that. I'm mad about myself. I wrote couldn't with the apostrophe before the N, which is what? I've never even done that in my life. So that was a dumb mistake. Okay, so I already went and talked about paper 2, so now I'm going to talk about paper 2 text, which is the poetry and prose text from the anthology. I hated night so much. And whoever you are, thank you for not giving that to me. Oh my god, we got a poem which I was so rooting for. I just wanted a poem. I didn't care what poem it was, I wanted a poem. A poem came out and we got The Unknown Girl, which was the one that I wanted to come up the most because I had the most annotations of that. Thank you for not giving me night or significant cigarettes, because what the heck, those were so hard. If it was gonna come out, but it didn't, so thank you.
I forgot to talk about English speaking, so here it is. English speaking is basically where you have to prepare a speech and you deliver it to an audience, and the audience asks you questions and you have to answer it on the spot when being recorded. It's basically that simple. You can do whatever topic you want to do. So in year 10, we did speaking, right? So at that time, I was so stressed about everything. So thinking about this English speaking, which right now to me is so irrelevant, but then like at that time it was such a big deal because it was my first GCSE, even though I really don't count as one because you don't get normal grades like 9 to 1 or A star to G. You get distinction, merit, and whatever, I don't remember. And I was doing my speech that day and I was really prepared. I was so ready. I memorized it so many times, so I was really like fluent and I can just burst out remembering everything. And then it came in the Q&A. The Q&A, we had 3 questions, so the first 2 questions went fine, but then the third question, I was in panic mode. So I kind of didn't really know how to respond to that specific question, which I don't really remember what it was. And I cried so much. I never cry in school, so that was insane, and all the teachers thought I was going crazy, and but I ended up getting a distinction, so
Now I have to talk about the final subject that I hate the most. I'm sorry if any teachers see this, because now I'm exposing my worst subject and the subject that I hate the most, which is called history. It's not that I hate the teacher or anything. The problem is I'm not improving whatsoever, no matter how much I try, and I don't know why, and it's my fault for not asking why I'm not improving, and I hate the styled questions because it's not even that I hate the history and I don't hate learning it. Paper 1 went fine, so I did Cold War and Civil Rights in the USA. I had term break before history happened, but then both history papers were in the week where I had 6 exams, and oh, why would you put history together in the same week? But yeah, I was so stressed out. I was like, and that's exactly how I was. Cold War went fine, I guess. Okay, so one assumption that I made about history was that one question was going to be comparing different events, and one question was going to be like comparing the minor events in the event and like the consequences, you know? But guess what? For Cold War, I got both consequences question. What? That doesn't even make sense to me. Like, I didn't even know that was an option, and I was freaking out. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Basically, we got the consequences question for Czechoslovakia and Cuban Missile Crisis, and those are the two that I don't like. Like, I just didn't learn much about it, so I somehow wrote something in the exam, and I managed to make a third point even, because like you need a third point because you must use your information in the 16 marker. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about it. I just did. Oh, and obviously part 2, which is civil rights of USA. The first question was the impression questions for both of section 1 and section 2. There was 2 impression questions, one for the first one for the second one, and I don't remember much about the Cold War, but I do remember about the civil rights one. It was about Ford. Literally the last thing on the specification. Ford. Okay, I did like read something about it, so I made something up. So I think I did fine. And question B was an effect question, which was it was something and women's liberation movement. That was the one that I don't remember the most about. So I was kind of mad about myself because I remember everything else apart from that one. I only could write 1 point and I tried to make a second one. So I think I already lost 4 marks from that question, or even more because my first point may not even be valid. I made some things up that does not even belong in the women's liberation movement, by the way. And I forgot they freaking burnt their bras. So then obviously it came the C question where you can choose 2 things. So one was the Red Scare and stuff. So okay, that was my favorite one. So it came up compensated. I was like, okay, thank you. And the second one was something like Brown versus Topeka and like that error. But I was like, the entire paper for me, I didn't even do anything about racial discrimination, which I thought was the major part of the exam. But no, I did none of that. So that was such a waste of time to learn. I'm joking, it's not. So for paper 2, oh my god, paper 2 went so bad. Like, if my teacher is watching this, I told her I was like, okay, it was fine. But no, it's not fine. It was so bad. So paper 2, section 1 that the school chose for like the topic wise was Russia 1917 and onwards, and section B was Middle East. So guess what? I really did not like learning about the Middle East because I thought it was really boring. Everyone disagreed with me, but I thought it was really boring and I didn't really want to learn half of it. But obviously I did. And I still do regret it from this day, which I crammed history the day before the exam, which means that I didn't really know much about anything. Apart from Russia, that I never usually revise much. They chose the worst one to even give in the exam. Okay, the effect question, we got like there was 2 options, and one of them was Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. Bless you, because that was the only effect that I knew. So that compensated, I guess, with, paper 1 and stuff. And then, oh my god, the sources were so bad. Like, the sources basically talked about the same thing but contradicted each other. So I had nothing to write about in like the 60 marker. So I tried to make something up and I was like, oh my god, this is stupid. And guess what the topic was? Bloody Sunday. Bloody Sunday. Why? I don't know. It's such a small thing that happened. Why couldn't it be like the 1905 revolution, 19 whatever revolution, like a bigger thing? No, Bloody Sunday. For Middle East, that was another story, even worse. I just said I don't like Middle East, so I revised the least out of all. Before the exam, I made people literally story tell what happened and everything, and I still managed to forget. Oh my god, that's so bad. So the 6th marker was a comparison between 2 events. And I think it was 2 events that I knew. So that was good, I think. I don't even remember that because it was even important because I had more terrible things to say. And then we got the causes question of I don't even remember anymore now. Like I think I wrote something decent. And the 16 marker, both of the options sucked, by the way. I don't even remember what it is now, but it was something about the USSR involvement between Israel and Arabs. Basically, what happened was like I remember. So there was like some events, and the only thing that I remember about that part of the test was the Yom Kippur War in the 16 marker, and I knew what the USSR did in the war, but I forgot the war was even between Israel and Arabs because I was like Israel, Egypt, and I forgot it was Arab. So I was like, why is this even on the question? Why did I just decided that the question was wrong, clearly. What is wrong with me? And then something worse even happened. So 16 markers are like, you must use your own information. I couldn't even think of a third point, so goodbye 16 marks. So yeah, I basically failed history. If I could even scrape a 6 for history, bless.
Hi everyone. I'm literally shaking. I don't know why I'm so nervous this time when Cambridge was just such a breeze for me. I didn't even have like the urge to open it. Oh my god. I did my makeup just so I could distract myself for 1.5 hours. So here you go. I don't even know why I'm so scared. I've been telling everyone, don't be so worried. You already did it. You know, like, you can't change anything. And now I can't even, like, you know, use it back on myself. Okay, so this morning I ate a really good breakfast that I really like to eat near my home. So that was that. And I'm just so scared. This is just not okay. Also, I'm wearing like the similar shirt to my Cambridge opening video because I was like, why not? So that's that. If anyone's even interested, well, these few days I've been dreaming about horrible nightmares of my GCSEs. For example, in the dream, for maths, I got a 5 and I had a panic attack and I woke up. And then last night, I dreamt that for my sciences, I literally did atrocious. So for chemistry, I got a 3, and in physics, I got a 5, and bio, I got a 5. I'm like, what? So yeah. So therefore, this morning I woke up at 6 a.m. in the morning when I slept at 2 yesterday talking to a friend. Oh my god, it's 1 p.m. Literally, I'm just waiting for the notification to pop up on my phone. Oh my god. It just came. Okay, so I plan to open it in my room because I feel more comfortable in here instead of like the shining lights, and I've pretty much been rubbing my eyes since forever, so I pretty much just did my makeup for no reason, you know. Oh my god. I'm kind of nervous, like my hands are like so done with me. Okay, I'm gonna go to mail. I'm so scared. Oh. Let me open it. Okay, I see biology. Wait, what? I got 9? That does not make sense. Oh my god. Okay, I got 9 for chemistry as well. Oh my god. I got a 9 for English language. Ow. Oh my god. And then I got an 8 for English literature. Wait, what? I got a 9 for history. Oh my god. And then I need to calm down. And I got 9 for maths. Thank god. And I got 9 for physics. Oh my god. How? Oh. Wait, I'm missing one subject. Where is it? Oh, I got a 9 for art. I was on the borderline and I thought I was gonna get an 8, but I got a 9. Oh my god. Literally. This is crazy. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay. Calm down. Calm down. How do you get a 9 in history, Jasmine? You literally thought you got a 4? 4? Or fail? How did this even happen? Okay, I'm gonna tell you my scores now. Because I'm calmed down. So for art and design, fine art, I got 148 out of 180, which I already knew because my teacher told me, so that wasn't like shocking. For biology, how is this a 9? But I got 143 out of 180, and that's kind of bad, but it's still a 9, so oh my god, I thought I literally messed up that paper. Oh my god, my entire bed is wet. And then for chemistry, I got 165 out of 180. Oh my god, this is so overwhelming. And then for English language, I got 117 out of 150. And for English literature, I got 105 out of 150. And for history, I got 109 out of 120. Ow. I've never gotten higher than this before. Oh my god, I'm so ugly right now. And my hair is just messed up. And for maths, I got 186 out of 100. And for maths, I got 186 out of 200. So I'm hoping paper 2 was the 100 one because and for physics, I got 151 out of 180. How? I thought I did so bad. This is not working in my brain. Oh my god. Oh my god, my entire makeup is done. This is unbelievable.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh, this is crazy. I have tears all over my face. Oh.
Hi, so I never do outros, but then I have a little something to give you guys who watch to the end of the video. Meaning that I made an IGCSE guide, which includes all the subjects that I took, and it basically thoroughly talks about what's the difference between papers, because this video wasn't really dedicated about that. It was more about my experience, even though I did end up talking about some of the content. But if you want more clarification, I've linked all the specifications of what I did in the guide, and it has tips that I personally give.
Okay. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you subscribe to me, and I don't know, comment down below how you think you did. Oh. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye.